Hi everybody. Okay, so welcome to my backyard. I'm excited to teach some yoga with you, and I want to thank the Albuquerque Museum for sponsoring our free yoga for tonight. Thank you so much. If you're online, go ahead and say hi. I'd love to hear from you in the chat. I'll give everyone a minute or two to get set up and get settled in. I will note, since this is live, pretty much anything can happen. A plane can fly overhead, a big truck can drive by, my dogs might start barking, my dogs might do yoga with us. And I also mentioned that I have a guest with me who is over here, and you might hear her, laughing at me as I'm teaching yoga. So
Or crying.
I'm not talking to myself. Hi Jen, I'm glad you're here. And so let's see, things that we should talk about before we start class. Of course, listen to your own body. You know what you need, you know how to modify, especially if you're having any kind of nervy, angry pain. We want to back off of that. But of course, we want to always be pushing ourselves to the edge just a little bit, just so that we continue to grow in our practice. So you know where that edge is. Listen to your body. If you have blocks available, please grab them for this practice. We are definitely going to need them for today. If you don't have blocks available, maybe you grab a dictionary and a thesaurus, or I will give you some options if you don't have blocks, but these will definitely help in your practice today. But those big books will do just as well. And if you have any questions throughout practice, I'll be checking in on the chat over here. Hi Amy, hi Renee. So shoot me your questions. I'd love to hear them. I'm sure the peanut gallery over there might have some questions for me too along the way, so we'll see what value she adds to our class. And I'm pretty excited today because we are going to be doing a pose that I have not taught before, and I'm not sure if many people have seen it before. It's called Fallen Flamingo, Humble Flamingo, Floating Pyramid. It has all sorts of names. If you haven't heard of it, don't worry. It does require a lot of core work today, so we are going to be definitely working that core. It does require a little bit of balance too, and stretching out the hamstrings, so we'll be working on all of that today. Again, modifications for your own body. Listen to your own body. You definitely don't have to do what I'm doing at any point, so it's your practice, and please check in and listen to what's going on. Okay. If you are going to listen to our playlist, I've shared that here in the comment section, so that's available to you. And if you would like to join me in that playlist, let's go ahead and hit play now. We'll get settled in today, something simple and easy, crisscross applesauce or half lotus if that's part of your practice. Really ground down through the hips here evenly. Bring your shoulders over your hips. Start to grow a little bit taller in the spine. Feel the crown of the head starting to reach for the ceiling or the sky, dropping those shoulders down. Check in with the jaw, let it release. Check in with that little spot between your eyebrows, let it release. With our hands on our knees, we have a couple of options. We can turn our palms down to the ground if we really want to hold on to our energy, or if we're looking to receive some new energy today, we can turn our palms up to the sky. Your choice. And let's take a deep breath in through the nose for 3, 2, 1, and release through the mouth for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the nose. 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue to inhale and exhale through the nose for your inhales and exhale through the mouth. Let the exhales be a little bit longer here. And this is the part of the practice where we let go of our day. Whether it was a work day, whether we had all sorts of things going on at home, whether we were taking care of family, whether we were interacting with friends. This is the part where we let that float away and we start to come into our practice, into this present moment. And if you'd like to set an intention for your practice today, please do so. Maybe around trying something new, maybe learning to do something different. Your intention is perfect. Whatever it is, make it yours. And let's start to gently open the eyes. If we've done a crisscross applesauce with our legs, let's go ahead, switch them out. And then bring our hands, big inhale, reach, reach, reach overhead, reach for the sky, reach for the ceiling here. And then we're gonna twist over to the right side. We're gonna take our right arm behind us, our left hand's gonna come down towards our knee, a little gentle twist here. Start to turn your head towards the back of the mat. Use that left hand to press against the knee to help you in this twist, but don't go too crazy yet, keep it gentle. Big inhale, reach back overhead. And then exhale, let's go to the other side. Right hand comes down towards that left knee, left hand goes behind us like a kickstand. Start to turn the gaze towards the back of the mat. Inhale, hands go high. And then exhale, I want you to reach forward, reach towards the top of the mat. Bring the hands down to the ground. Go ahead, release the neck, release the head down towards the ground here. You might start to feel a little bit of a stretch on your backside. That's what we're looking for here. And then start to walk the fingertips back towards the knees here. And we're gonna take our legs out in front of us and then sweep them behind us. Fancy yoga transition, I know. We're gonna find a tabletop. Starting to come onto the hands here. We're gonna start to warm up our hands, our wrists a little bit. So we're gonna go through a few exercises together here. If you've been tuning in for our Thursday classes, you'll know where we're going. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna press firmly through all of our fingertips and start to engage the knuckles. I want you to press the knuckles down into the ground and then lift the thumbs up, lift the thumbs up. Yes, yes, yes. And now start to keep pressing those fingertips and lift the knuckles just slightly away from the mat. Keep lifting the thumbs. Yes, lift, lift, lift. And drop everything down except for the thumbs. Re-engage through those knuckles. And then lift back up and down. Lift back up and down. If you can't see my hands, what we're looking for is we're doing a slight movement here where those fingertips are never leaving the ground and the thumb is up. All right. Just give me a couple more. I know this can be a lot on the hands. And then we're gonna turn our fingertips back. So we're gonna turn them out to the sides and then back towards our knees, getting into the wrists here. If this is a lot on the wrists for you, stay here, stay out to the sides. If you're looking for a little bit more here, you can start to pull the hips back, start to pull the shoulders back. Yep, you're gonna find that sweet spot where you're like, oh, there it is, I love this. Oh, maybe it's a little bit too much, I need to back off. You listen to your body, you know where that spot is. Holding for just another breath. And then release the hands, start to turn them back to the sides and then back to the front. All right, one more wrist and hand exercise. So I want you to tense your fingertips so that they're coming up high on the mat, all right? And then I want you to start to make a little bit of a suction cup with the hand, with the palm. So we lift through the palms, press into the fingertips, and then drop the palms. Lift up and drop. Your fingertips are probably gonna move just a little bit. Think of a tree frog gripping the ground. Maybe like a cat making bread. Is that what it's called when they like knead you? Yeah, I don't have a cat. All the jokes. Okay. Go ahead, shake out the hands, shake out the wrists. And then press the palms, press the fingertips back into the ground nice and firm here. I want you to now tuck the toes and lift the knees away from the mat. We're moving into a down dog position from here. As we do this, we're going to let the heart melt down to the ground. We're going to bring the ears towards our biceps and maybe start to walk out that dog, moving from left to right. Maybe the hips are starting to find a little movement here. And as we do this, we might start to feel the shoulders opening up here and the chest starting to get closer and closer down to the mat. One more breath here. Now lift the heels away from the ground, bend through the knees, bringing the chest towards the thighs. We're going to start warming up that core here. Lift, 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 lift. Drop the heels back down to the ground, straighten through the legs, down dog. Lift the heels, bend through the knees, chest to thighs. Drop the heels, straighten the legs, down dog. Lift the heels, bend the knees. This time look up at your hands and step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now really let the backs of the legs open up here. So maybe grab for opposite elbows. Maybe make some figure eights with the elbows. Drop the head here, release the neck. Feel the back of the body really lengthening here. Release the hands. And on our next inhale, we're going to rise up to a standing position, bringing our hands up overhead. Reach, reach, reach for the sky here. And then exhale, bending through the elbows. Find a little bit of a cactus through the arm. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, up. And this time, swan dive down as we take a big exhale. Inhale, half lift, hands to shins, nice flat back, pulling the crown of the head towards the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more inhale, half lift. One more exhale, forward fold. This time take your hands to the mat, connect, connect, connect here. Really press down through the fingertips and then step or jump to the back of the mat, finding a plank. Feel free to drop the knees here since this is our first plank, or stay up high on those toes, your choice. If you're in a plank here, I really want you to start thinking about rounding the shoulder blades up towards the sky like an angry cat. Pull the belly in towards the spine. And now we're going to go ahead and bend those elbows. The chest is going to come forward. Come down halfway to the mat and then roll forward on and then bring it up. So we're in our up dog or we're in our cobra, your choice. Reach, 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 reach up towards the sky. And then roll over those toes. Bring the hips back, down dog. Walk out your dog, readjust here a little bit. In our down dog, we want to make sure that we're slightly pigeon-toed. So that means our toes are pointing in, our heels are slightly pointing out. If your heels come down to the ground, cool. If they don't worry. Just start feeling that stretch happening through the back of the legs. Bring the chest a little closer down towards the mat. All right. Bend through the knees, look up at your hands. Step or jump, top of the mat. Let's move a little bit faster. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, hands overhead. Exhale, lion's breath. Bend through those elbows. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to mat, step or jump back, plank. Chaturanga, bending through those elbows. Drive that chest forward, guys, as you rise up to your up dog. And then press it back to your down dog. All right. Let's take the right leg up to the sky, setting up for a three-legged dog. As we do this, I want you to keep the core engaged. Think about pulling that belly towards the spine. And then I want you to start to shift the weight forward into a plank. Keep that leg up and then bend that right knee. Pull it in towards your chest. Keep pulling it up, 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 round through the back. Kick it back up, three-legged dog. Bring it forward, knee to chest. Kick it back up. Last time, pull that knee towards the chest. This is so important for our peak pose today. You've got this. I know, step it forward. Plant that foot between your hands, setting up for a little bit of a lunge here. All right, hands are gonna sweep forward and come on up. We're here in a crescent pose. As we do this, we drop our shoulders. We want to feel a little bit of tension happening between the front heel and that back foot, like energy pulling together here. Keep bending through that front knee. Awesome, and then bring the hands down to the mat. Drop the back knee down to the ground, untuck the toes. And we're gonna move into a half splits from here. So we're gonna walk our hands back, turn our front toes up to the sky. We're flexing that front foot. As we do this, see if you can keep the hips in alignment. Then walk the hands back forward, bend through the knee. We're gonna do that a couple more times. Walk the hands back, pull the toes to the sky. Half split. Walk the fingertips forward, bend the knee, press the foot down. One more time, walk the fingertips back, toes to the sky. We're gonna hold here. I really want you to start thinking about finding that length through the hamstrings. As we do this, engage the quad. Maybe even take your fingertips to your quad. Check in here. Is that muscle, or I should say muscles because it's quad, fully engaged? All right. If this is not enough for you, if you can't really find what's happening here with the hamstrings, I'm going to give you a little bit of a challenge. Go into a cat position and then find your cow. Drop your belly, lift your head to the sky. I bet you're feeling all sorts of things happening here. All right, walk the fingertips back forward, plant that foot down into the ground, and then walk the toes out to the side, setting up for a quick little lizard, but don't get too comfortable here. I want you to press into those fingertips, and then we're gonna drive that right leg back to meet the left. Just like that, yeah. Big toes together, knees apart. Quick little child's pose. Again, don't get too comfy. I want you to now reach for the sky with your hands. Bring those hands up overhead. Bring the hips over the knees. Reach back a little bit, and then bring the hands back down to the mat. Reach forward, reach forward, reach forward, and then drive the chest forward, setting up into a striking cobra. Bring the chest forward. Up dog or cobra, your choice. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Awesome, let's do that on the other side. Left leg goes high. Oh, we're gonna come into that plank. We're gonna pull that knee into our chest. Exhale. Inhale, kick it back up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale up. Exhale, chest. Inhale, one time up. And then step it through. Plant that foot between your hands, setting up for a lunge. Inhale, hands come up overhead, crescent lunge. Reach, 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 reach. Drop those shoulders. Come up high on the back toes. Straighten that back leg just a little bit more. I can't see you, but I know that you need to straighten that back leg. Trust me. Reach, 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 reach. And then hands come down to the mat. Plant that knee down towards the ground, untuck the toes. Walk your fingertips back, setting up for that half lunge. Toes to the sky. Walk the fingertips forward, bend the knee. Fingertips back, toes to the sky. Walk it forward. Walk it back one more time and hold here. Flexing the foot, making sure the quad is engaged here. If you're looking for that little extra, don't forget to do that little trick here where we drop the belly and we look up. Our cow. Breathe through this. And then walk the fingertips forward, plant the foot. Bring the left hand into the instep of that foot and walk the toes over to the left edge of the mat. Setting up for a quick little lizard. Pressing into the fingertips, pull the core in, pull it in, pull it in, and then sweep that left leg to meet the back leg. Toes together, knees apart. Child's pose. Don't get too comfy. Lift the hands, lift the hips, reach, reach, reach up for the sky. And then bring the hands back down towards the mat, reach out in front of you, striking cobra, dragging the chest down towards the mat, and then forward, rising up into your cobra or your up dog. Roll it back, down dog. All right, bending the knees, coming up high on the toes. Bring the chest towards the thighs. Look up at your hands. Step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, hands overhead. And then bring those hands to heart center. We're gonna step out with our left foot into a wide-legged stance. As we do this, we wanna have our feet in parallel here. Good job, guys. And we're gonna take our hands, reach up overhead, big inhale. And then exhale, swan dive forward, bringing our fingertips down towards the ground. All of the options here, maybe we just hang, maybe we have our hands touching the ground here. If this is not enough and you want a little bit more, you can also take those peace fingers, grab the big toes, bending through the elbows, and pull, 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 pull the crown of the head down towards the mat. As we do this, keep thinking about straightening through the legs. Straighten, 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 straighten. Breathe through this. If we're holding on to our toes, let's release. Let's bring our fingertips back towards the middle. And then bring our hands up towards the hips. Big inhale, rolling up to a standing position. I want you to turn the right toes towards the top of the mat. Then we're going to take this left leg, pop it in, about a foot, and turn the left toes to a 45-degree angle. As we do this, our hips are going to face the front of the mat. All right, we're setting up for a pyramid pose. Big inhale, reach up overhead. And then exhale, reach, reach, reach forward, hold halfway, and then come all the way down, hands down to the ground. Start to feel the back of the right leg opening up even more, If this is not enough for you and you want a little bit of challenge, come back up to a standing position. You can grab for opposite elbows behind the body, or you can do a reverse prayer. What does that look like? Well, let me show you. You bring the fingertips together, pressing the hands together, and then come back down, exhale as we fold over. Your choice. Let's take an inhale. Let's all rise back up together. Awesome. Step the left foot forward to meet the right. Step the right foot back, 45-degree angle. So this stance is a little bit shorter than a warrior two. And again, your choice. You can reach overhead, big inhale. Exhale, come down halfway. And then drop all the way down to the ground. Or you can find that reverse prayer. Your practice. Find your edge. Inhale, let's rise back up together. And hands come down by the sides. Right foot meets the left. I want you to come up high on the toes. High, 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 high on the toes. Play with that balance for just a moment. And then start to bend through the knees as you reach forward, reach forward. I am not graceful at this, but I'm going to give it a go. Keep reaching forward for a little bit of an awkward pose. Lift up through the feet, ankles together, thighs squeezing. Keep lifting, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hands come down to the mat and roll it back. Take a break for just a moment. Because you know what? We gotta do our core work. So, little bit of a trick there. Okay. So let's get ready for that, guys. I know you're excited about this part. We're gonna roll all the way down to the mat from here. And I want you to take your right leg up to the sky. Point the toes. Extend the left leg and let it float just above the ground. All right, take your hands up towards your ankle and lift the shoulders away from the mat. Lift, lift, lift. I know you can lift a little bit higher. You've got this. All right, and we're gonna switch out the legs. Left comes in, right goes and floats. And switch. Big inhale here. Exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Keep moving through this. Keep lifting the shoulders away from the mat. Keep thinking about really having that core engaged. If you want the extra challenge, you can take the hands out towards the sides. Amy, I'm speaking to you in California. Yes, I know you can do this. Couple more. And then pull the knees into the chest. Give yourself a couple of circles from side to side. And we've got more core work to do. So, take both legs up to the sky. And I want you to lift your shoulders away from the mat. Awesome. Take that right leg down, 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 and let it float again. Yep. And then bend this left knee. Pull it into the chest. Keep pulling it into the chest. Pull, 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 pull. Right leg comes in, both knees together. Left leg goes high up to the sky. Reach, reach, reach through the toes. Now bring that left leg down to a 45-degree angle. All right, and then let it float. Big inhale here. And then on your next exhale, pull both knees in together. Yeah. Inhale up to the sky with that right leg. Exhale, 45-degree angle. Inhale down to the ground. Exhale, both knees in. Let's keep moving through that. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, 45-degree angle. Shoulders off the mat, guys. You've got this. Inhale, let it float. Exhale, both knees. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, 45. Inhale, let it float. Exhale, both knees in. And drop everything down to the ground. Find those circles in both directions. I know, so much core tonight, guys, but it's super important. All right, one more big core exercise. So we're gonna grab the back of our legs and I want you to rock up to a boat. Might take a couple of tries. There we go, I did it. All right, so we can have our toes down on the ground if we're kind of working through boat, trying to make sure that we have a good alignment here. Or we can bring our legs up to a 90-degree angle, or we can reach those toes all the way up to the sky. Your choice here, but let's talk about alignment for just a moment. I want you to shine the heart here. I want you to really think about having the chin up and not down here. Keep the chin nice and level with the ground. Shine that heart. Yeah, there we go, guys. Now start thinking about really engaging through the core here. It should feel like a seat belt that's just like a little bit too tight. You might need to lean back just a little bit more to find it. There it is. And we're gonna hold this. We're just gonna stay right here for 5 solid breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2. Everything should be shaking and I'm not done counting yet. 1. All right, drop the feet. You're welcome. Okay, what's next? Well, we're gonna talk a little bit about doing an L-sit and a Lalasana. Then we're gonna go into our flow, getting ready for that peak pose. So if you have those blocks, let's go ahead and grab them. If you have a dictionary and a thesaurus at home, this is a good time to grab those too. And if you don't have blocks, that's totally cool. I'll show you what to do. So if you've been practicing with me on Thursdays at all, you'll know that we have been working a lot on core, and I've done some work on teaching everyone about Lalasana and L-sit. So we're gonna do that really quickly today. If you're interested in learning more or gaining some strength with these movements, you should check in with YogaZo about a membership to get access to our online videos, because we have some really great tutorials and videos that will teach you how to do this. If you have those blocks available to you, have them ready. If you don't have blocks, you can still work through this. And I'm going to show it without the blocks. But real quick, if you have the blocks, try to keep them by your knees, all right? Press into those blocks or press into the mat here. And I want you to start to drive the chest forward. You might need to bend through the elbows a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift our knees away from the ground. We're going to probably have our toes connected here. Yeah. Now, if you have those blocks available to you, you can also work on just lifting everything away from the mat by pulling the knees into the chest. I need blocks in order to be able to do that because, man, my arms are just not long enough. But I know plenty of people that have that strength to be able to do it. That's what we're working on today, is getting the knees up into the chest. We need that for our peak pose. So let's give it one more try. We want to drive the chest forward, bend through those elbows. Keep driving, driving, driving the chest forward. And then on the next big exhale, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Lalasana. Good job, guys. I promise if you build that into your personal practice, your home practice, you're going to get super strong in the core. All right, let's try another exercise here. Let's take the legs out in front of us. Blocks by our sides. If we don't have blocks, we can still do this by just pressing into the mat. Same technique here. We want to drive the chest forward as we bend through the elbows. And what's going to happen here is our heels are going to start to drag back a little bit, and our hips are going to go up and back. So let's give that a try. Inhale. Exhale, drive the chest forward, and then lift. Give it a try. Inhale, chest forward, bend through the elbows, lift the hips, drive the heels back. If you have blocks, we can add on to that, especially because they make our arms a little bit longer. So let's give that a try. Inhale, exhale, chest forward, bend through the elbows, lift back, maybe you float. Keep lifting if you're in that float. Maybe you're here, just working on getting the hips up and back, pulling, pulling, pulling the core in. You got it. All right, that was a lot of work. We're not done yet. Let's go into the next part of our flow, guys. I'm gonna put my blocks off to the side because we're not gonna need them for this part. And why don't we come and meet in a standing position at the top of the mat, another fancy yoga transition. Hands by our sides, Tadasana Samastitihi. Inhale, reach hands overhead. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to mat, step or jump back to plank. Chaturanga. Big inhale, rise up. Press it back, down dog. Let's take our right leg up to the sky. So we're in that three-legged dog, and I want you to engage the core here. Turn the toes down towards the mat, squaring off the hips. And then big exhale. Step that right foot between the hands, setting up for a lunge. Inhale, hands reach up high overhead, crescent. Exhale, open up to your warrior two. Right knee is bent here. Left back foot is at a 90-degree angle. We're looking out over our right hand. We're dropping our shoulders. Good job, guys. Straighten through that front leg. And then inhale, reverse, right hand high. And then exhale. Let's go into a triangle pose from here. So that right hand's gonna go down to the ground. Left hand is gonna reach up high. We've talked a little bit about triangle on these Thursday classes. We wanna pull that left shoulder back. We wanna pull that left hip back. I said ship because I was trying to combine them apparently. So shoulder back, hip back, get everything stacked here. Feel the energy through that left hand reaching up. It's less about being down close to the ground, more about feeling the energy coming up through that top hand. Reach, 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 reach here. Pull everything back, get it nice and stacked. There you guys go, awesome. Inhale, come back up, warrior two, bending through that front knee. We're gonna go into a half moon pose from here. So just follow me, I'm gonna give you a good variation. So as we do this, take your left hand forward, both hands are gonna come forward and down towards the mat. We're gonna take our right hand and walk it out to a diagonal about 6 inches in front of our right foot. Spin up onto that left back foot. We're all high on the toes here. All right, press into the right fingertips, press into this front foot. And we're gonna lift this back leg up as we straighten the right leg. Now I want you to flex the left toes out towards the side. We're opening up through the hip here. As we do this, press out through the heel and then lift the left arm high. Keep the right fingertips connected to the ground here. So it's a little bit of a variation, and I want you to focus on this back leg. Lift it a little bit higher. A little bit higher. Yep, a little bit higher. Pull that left shoulder back. Maybe look up at that left hand if you're really looking for a challenge. I'm more interested in this back leg coming up tonight than I am for you floating in your half moon. I have my reasons, please trust me. All right, let's take that left hand back down to the ground. We're gonna square off our hips, so our left toes are gonna point down towards the ground. And as we do this, I want you to press the ground away with those fingertips as we lift the left leg a little higher, a little higher. We're moving into a standing splits from here. And I'm having you press into the ground to find a little more height with that left leg. You should feel the energy just pushing up, 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 up towards the sky here. Awesome. Bring the left toes down to the ground. Back to that lunge. Press the palms into the mat. Sweep the right leg back. You can come into a plank, or you can bring that right leg, let it float. And we can move into a trianga, or we can just have a chaturanga. Trianga is where you're gonna have that leg lifted. As such, rise up dog, press it back, down dog. Take a couple of deep breaths here. If you want some water, this is a good time to grab it before we move over to the other side. All right, let's set up for this on the other side. Let's take the left leg high. Reach, 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 reach. And then I want you to step it through between the hands, setting up for a lunge. Inhale, reach up for a crescent, hands up overhead, bending through that front knee. Yeah, and then exhale, warrior two. Open up to the side. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Left hand goes high, reach back, reverse. Stretch, stretch, stretch through that side body. Keep reaching up higher, higher, higher. Awesome. And then exhale. Start to come back into that warrior two, bending through that front knee, but let's keep going. I want you to bring both hands down out in front of you. That left hand, we want to add a diagonal 6 inches in front of that left foot. Spin up onto the back foot. We're on our right toes. Nice. Good job, guys. And we're going to pop that right leg up parallel to the ground as we straighten through the front leg. Flex the foot here. Energy shooting out of that right heel. And as we do this, press into those left fingertips and then raise the right hand up high. Lift the right heel a little higher. A little higher. A little higher. Hold here, guys. You got it. Roll that right shoulder back. Maybe look at your right hand. All right. Right hand comes down to the ground, squaring off the hips. Fingertips are engaged here, and we're going to lift that right heel up, 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 standing splits. Keep pressing into the ground to help you lift higher through that leg. Really stretch. Maybe point the toe. Maybe drop the head down a little bit more towards the ankle, towards the shin. All right, right toes come down to the ground, back to a lunge. Woo! Left toes go back. You can go to that triangle or that chaturanga, your choice. Come on down. Rise up to your up dog or your cobra. Press it back. Down dog. Couple of breaths here, guys. You got it. All right, let's drop our knees down to the ground and find a seated position. You guys have been working hard. I know. All right, I think we're ready to play with our peak pose today. So as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be going into that fallen flamingo or humble flamingo or floating pyramid or whatever you want to call it. It's not a traditional yoga pose, I will say this. It's probably more in the category of what's popping up is like Instagram yoga poses. But what I like about this one is it does really challenge the core, even though it looks really simple. So I did a lot of research on this to try to figure out the origin of the pose, and I couldn't find any information. It doesn't even have a Sanskrit name. So we're just gonna make a shape today, basically, all right? I just wanted to be real clear. Let's grab our blocks if we have those, or our books if we have those. We're gonna want them available to us. We're gonna move into a pyramid pose, and then we're gonna set up for that peak pose. So let's come back up to a standing position. We're gonna take that right foot forward. We're gonna take that left foot back. Left foot is at a 45-degree angle, and I want you to bring those hips so they are in line with the front of the mat again. All right, good job, cool. All right, as we go through this, we're gonna repeat a lot of the things that we've done in class about pulling the chest forward, okay? That's gonna be really important to help us maintain that balance. I'm also gonna have you start to turn your hands backwards during the pose, so you're gonna be up on your fingertips. So as you remember earlier today, we did that stretch with our wrists where our fingers were back. That's gonna come in handy right now. So let's go ahead and get set up for this. Big inhale, reach overhead. Big exhale, let's bring it forward, hands come down to the mat, super cool. All right, so as we go through this, I want you to see if you can relax the neck and bring the head closer towards the leg. Nice. Now start to walk the hands towards the blocks if you have those available. I'm gonna turn mine down a notch, and I'm gonna push them back a little bit more so that my fingertips, as they turn backwards, can rest on those blocks. And now I'm gonna engage the fingertips, really engage the fingertips here. All right, Now from here we have a few options. I want you to come up high on those back toes and spinning the heel up towards the sky. I can just bend my knee here and keep balancing on that front foot, pressing the big toe into the mat. This is a lot on its own. You're probably feeling a pretty good stretch in that front leg. If you want to kick it up a notch from here, you can pull the knee to the chest. So I'm going to take a big inhale, I'm going to pull the chest forward, and then exhale, knee in. I'm going to keep pressing the hips back and pressing into the fingertips. Kick that leg back. Walk my fingertips forward. Woo! And then drop that back foot back to a 45-degree angle. Inhale, rise up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. How was that? Something different, something to play with. That's good. Lots of core work, I know. Let's try that on the other side. Sometimes it's easier on the other side. So let's step the left foot forward to meet the right. Let's step the right foot back, 45-degree angle. So here we are in our pyramid pose again. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, reach forward, hands come down to the ground. See if you can relax the neck, drop the head. Bring the head even closer towards the leg, towards the knee. Awesome. Now walk your fingertips back. If we don't have blocks, we can totally just keep walking our fingertips back. Spin the fingertips towards the back of the mat. So our hands are tented here. We're creating that suction cup that we did earlier in class today. And we're going to turn up onto our back toes, bending through that right knee. Keep pressing the hips back. Keep pulling the chest forward. And as we do this, you have the choice. You can stay here because this is a lot. This is so much right here. Or you can pull the knee into the chest. If we have blocks, because I've got short arms, I really like to see and play with those by adjusting the blocks a little bit. Keep pulling the hips back, chest forward, pull that knee in. Step the right leg back. Blocks out to the sides. We'll come back down so the heel is planted into the ground on that back leg, 45-degree angle. Inhale, rise back up, hands overhead, and bring hands to heart center. That's a lot. I'm going to give you guys a moment to play with that. If you want to keep playing, I'm going to check in with the comments really quick to see if you have any questions, concerns, anything you want to bring up here. Keep playing with that pose. If you're struggling with it, I will say this. That core compression that we did earlier with the Lalasana and the L-sit, that's going to help a lot because we're pulling the knees into the chest just like you would in that floating pyramid. So if you're struggling with the pose, keep working on that core compression and it will come, I promise. If you're struggling with the hamstring tightness, definitely keep working through that pose that we did earlier in class, the Hanumasana. Hold it here and bring that cow stretch with the back into it. That'll help a lot as you start to try to play with this peak pose at home and build it into your practice. All right, guys. How we feeling? All right, let's see what else we can build into our class. So if we have those blocks, we can put them to the side. Now we're done with our peak pose. We're done with our core. You're very welcome. Let's spin our legs towards the top of the mat. I want to get into those hip flexors and give them a good stretch, especially when we're working our core. It's really important that we get that release happening in those hip flexors. So we're going to roll all the way down to the mat. And I want you to take your right ankle and put it over your left knee. We're going to go into a figure four stretch from here. As we do this, you might need to walk the left foot closer towards the glutes. You can totally stay here. This is a lot. You don't have to go any further. If you're looking for a little bit more, then let's lift that left foot away from the ground. bring it parallel with the mat and then interlace the fingers around the back of the left thigh. Take that right knee, press it towards the top of the mat here. You can maybe use that right hand to press the knee away too, or use that right elbow depending on how flexible you are. Your choice. We're going to take that right foot and bring it over to the left side. We're going to just drop it straight over to the left side. Yeah, just like that. Good job. You're going to drop the right knee and maybe find a little bit of a stack so that the left knee is on the right leg. If this is too much for you, then just stay right here. Your choice. And you're going to take the right arm out towards the side and turn your gaze over towards the right hand. And let's come back to center with the hips, with the knees. Unwrap the legs. And we'll do that on the other side. So take the left ankle over the right knee. You can stay here by just pulling the right foot in closer towards the glutes. If you want to start with that level 1 position, if you're looking for more, you can bring that right leg up parallel to the ground, creating that figure 4 stretch by interlacing the fingers behind the thigh. If this is not enough for you, you can also interlace your fingers around the shin on the outside of the leg. Do what's going to work best for you here. Keep trying to press the left knee towards the top of the mat here. So we're going to release. We're going to drop that left foot over towards the right side. A little bit of a twist. You can stay here, or you can go ahead and go a little bit deeper in the twist by having the right leg rest on top of the left leg. Take the left arm out towards the side, and then turn your gaze towards the left fingertips. So again, your legs can be in a little bit of an eagle wrap here if you're looking for more. Or we can stay in that figure 4 variation. Or if that's all a lot, we can also just release both legs and have the left leg resting on top of the right. Knee on top of knee, ankle on top of ankle. And let's roll back to center. We have a couple of options to close out our practice here. If you'd like to go into a shoulder stand, definitely have the time for that here. So as we do that, we'll take our legs up to the sky. If you'd like to do more of a legs up the wall, that's an option too, especially if you have those blocks at home. You can also take that block underneath the hips here. Legs up towards the sky. Your choice. Or if you're looking for that shoulder stand, as we lift our hips up to the sky, we can support the lower back with our hands. Squeezing the thighs, the ankles, the feet together. If we're in a shoulder stand, let's move into a plow position by taking the toes behind the head, dropping the toes down towards the ground. We can release the lower back here, taking the hands down towards the mat, maybe interlacing the fingers, pressing the pinkies into the ground. And then from here, we have a couple of options. We can pull the knees towards our ears. And then roll the hips, the legs forward. One vertebrae at a time, really using that core to slow this down. Awesome. Good job, guys. All right. We got a couple of minutes left, so I want to make sure that we stretch everything out before we move into our Shavasana position. So let's pull that right knee into the chest, interlacing the fingers on top of that right knee. Give yourself a good little hug here. And then let's extend the right leg long. We'll switch out the legs. Left knee will come in towards the chest. Interlacing the fingers. Extend the left leg long. And we'll move into a butterfly position from here. So we're going to take the inner soles of the feet, bringing them together, and let the knees come out towards the sides of the mat. As we do this, I want you to check in with the lower back, let it release, let it just melt straight down into the mat here. And we'll take our hands up overhead, reach towards the crown of the head, reach a little further. Pull that lower back down into the mat. And then we can grab for opposite elbows, opposite wrists. Relax through the shoulders here. Release any tension that you might be feeling, especially in the hip flexors. Couple more breaths here. And we can choose to stay here, or we can extend the legs nice and long out towards the sides of the mat. Letting our ankles roll out to the sides, really taking up some space here. Maybe bringing the arms down by our sides, turning the palms up towards the sky, up towards the ceiling. Starting to close our eyes. Slowing down the breath here as we set up for our final pose or Shavasana. And this is the part of the practice where we start to come into the present moment, where we really let go of any of the chatter that might be happening in our head about where we have to go after class or what we have to do after class. This is the part of the practice where we come into this present moment and really just focus on the breath and just being. This is the part of the practice where we let go of anything that may have frustrated us, challenged us in class. Or we let go of anything that may have inspired us in class. Because this moment is where we just get to be. There are no expectations here. There are no obligations here. So I'm just going to let you melt into the mat and take this moment for you. Let's start to wiggle our fingers and our toes, but keep our eyes closed here. Just starting to gently wake up the body. We're going to start to roll over towards the right side, moving into a fetal position where the knees draw in towards the chest and we come onto our right shoulder. Left fingertips can press down into the mat. Maybe using that right hand as a pillow or right arm as a pillow. And then pressing into those left fingertips, let's come up to a seated position, lifting back up towards the top of the mat. And we will end where we started with an easy seated position. Legs gently crossed here. Gaze is soft, maybe eyes are still closed. And let's bring our hands to heart center. Big inhale. Big exhale. Big inhale. Big exhale. One last big inhale, taking in everything you need. And big exhale, letting go of everything you don't. Rather than trying to change or control or fight the things that we don't understand, know that you will always win if you surrender to love. Namaste. It was my pleasure to lead you through your practice today. I hope that you had fun with our peak pose today. I hope it challenged you in new ways and that you learned something new about yourself. If you are interested in learning more about any of the poses that I taught tonight, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram, or reach out to YogaZo. We would love to hear from you. Again, also, we have plenty of classes that will break down poses like half moon, Lalasana, L-sits, all of the things that we did tonight. So if you're looking to build up your practice and learn a little bit more about those poses, we would love to share those videos with us. Reach out to YogaZo and let us know. And thank you again to the Albuquerque Museum for sponsoring this class. We appreciate you. Miss you guys, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste.